what a lot of fishermen did was they said, well, maybe we should start figuring out how we can still use our boats and our docks and what we do for a living and turn that into also farming, at least as a part-time thing. So in 1994, when the net ban went into effect, it had a lot of commercial fishermen also get into clam farming.
Harvesting clams was nothing new to the Indian River Lagoon. For thousands of years, wild clams had been gathered from the river. Piled high along the riverbank to build mounds called middens, their shells were later used to pave the area's first road. What was new was that clam harvesting was now done through aquaculture. Through clam farming, fishermen treated their catch more like a crop, planting seed clams in mesh bags and allowing them to grow through harvest time.
Once the technology was developed to predictably grow clams to market size, I think that many fishermen, on days that maybe the fish they know aren't going to bite, can plan a day or two a week to go and do their clam farming. And it kind of helped, I think, supplement their income, and also helped us tremendously because there's a lot of good commercial fishermen that became really good clam farmers in the state of Florida. One of the main factors I think that affected the commercial fishing industry in Sebastian as recently as 2004 were the hurricanes.
With Francis and Jean, that really set us on our rear ends there.
Many commercial fishermen lost their boats. We've seen a lot of boats washed up. The docks got devastated.
We lost anything that even resembled any operable fish houses on the water. The last real operating fish house that we had was Archie Smith's Seafood, and it was completely and totally destroyed.
Built in 1935, Archie Smith's Fish House was the last operating fish house on the water in Sebastian. Its destruction in 2004 left a void in the fishing community. More than the loss of a landmark, it was a turning point in the way fishing was done in the lagoon.
We were down to no fish houses on the water at all, and it got so difficult to be a handline commercial king mackerel fisherman that a lot of guys got out of it. All the old timers gave it up. It was just too tough because when you were done fishing, you would have to come in and you kept your boat at a marina. Then you would have to load the fish in the truck, your own truck, truck them to a fish house that was not on the water anymore, and then bring your ice back, and the same with the fuel. And it took a tough breed to do that. You know, in the old days, you pull up to the dock, there was a guy there to help you unload and everything. So it was tough, and the fleet was narrowed down to a handful of people. A tougher breed, I think.
Those that remained to carry on Florida's fishing tradition adapted to meet the new challenges head on. Just as the creation of the Sebastian Inlet gave their fathers access to new fishing grounds, the use of cell phones and interstate highways are allowing today's fishermen to be more mobile.
Today I'm sitting here in Sebastian. I may get a cell phone call from a friend of mine that fishes out of New Smyrna Beach or Jacksonville or Mayport or Pensacola or Key West or whatever, and say, we're catching whatever. And within several hours, you can be at that location and fishing. And that's what's really changed in the state of Florida, is the ability of the fishermen to move on almost a moment's notice to a different locale and be very effective.
Around September, I'll start fishing for Spanish mackerel in New Smyrna up by Daytona Beach. And the Spanish mackerel will migrate south to Cape Canaveral, and I'll usually fish till around Thanksgiving at Cape Canaveral. And then the fish will migrate to Sebastian, and I can come out of my hometown, which is pretty nice. We don't have to do a lot of sleeping in the truck and a lot of motel renting. Which is, in my father's time, they couldn't trailer their boat up the interstate, and they didn't have all the boat ramps to use and all the access that you have now, which makes it convenient for me, but it costs more money to do it, but that's what you have to do to survive in this industry.
Commercial fishing is no longer the town's focal point. But subtle reminders of how it built this community can still be seen around the lagoon. Many of the old landmarks are gone. A few that still stand are weathered and time-worn, serving as memories of a bygone era, while others serve as a source of inspiration, challenging those who carry on to reclaim and rebuild Sebastian's fishing tradition.
To fishermen, it's a place where they feel comfortable because they're in control. They don't rely on anybody else, and they can push themselves and work as hard as they want without anybody giving them direction or a set of rules that they have to live by, and continue to do what they love to do.
I was very independent. That's one of the nice things about being a commercial fisherman is you're very independent and stuff, and you don't have to, if somebody asks you a question, you can tell them what you think.
There's not somebody looking over your shoulder pushing you either. It's the freedom of it. It's the ability to go out on your own against Mother Nature or with Mother Nature, depending on how you want to work it, and make a living.
And you still have to be competitive, and you actually have to work harder than you would at any other normal job. But it's, just like to be free.
The freedom. The best part of commercial fishing like that on a daily basis is the freedom of it.
Well, you just seem to be, I don't know, you're more freedom out there doing your work, and you wasn't having to punch a clock.
And you got the gratitude of knowing that you're feeding thousands of people. I don't know how many. I probably put 100,000 meals a year on the table, easy.
Yeah, oh man, yeah. Along the river, you make a good man. Fellows raised along the river makes a good man, He stays busy.
What I love about fishing more than anything is just being out in the open water and seeing the beauty of everything and not having to deal with somebody telling you what to do or where to do it or how to do it.
I don't know of anything that I could do that would even equal that or rival that, and I'm not going to go looking for it anyways. I'm happy right where I am as a commercial fisherman, and that's where I'll stay.
The best part is if you bottom fishing and catch a great big old sow snapper about that big on the hand line, or a big old grouper on the hand line, and the water's clear and you're pulling real hard and you don't want to break him off and you don't want him to get back in a rock or something. And then you look and you can see him coming up. And you see that big fish coming up, and then you start talking to him. Baby needs a new pair of shoes. Now hold on to that hook. Hold on, don't turn that hook loose.